those who are now clamoring and saying P2B is the problem, I want them to come and join this movement so we can do it. When I tried to do it in 2009, they said I was doing it to consolidate my position. I'm going out now, so I'm no longer consolidating anything. If there's anybody who can do it now and will be free and fair, it's me. Those who come after me will not be free and fair because they will want to consolidate the position. I have nothing to consolidate now except to do the right thing.
Well, the governorship elections in Nigeria will take place this year and 2015, but the polls can only be successful if the electorate give the umpire a chance and work with them. That's according to the Cross River Rec, Mr. Mike Igini. Mr. Igini was speaking on our breakfast show, Sunrise Daily, and he says that plans are in place to make the election a huge success and that there are templates to work with.
Coming elections, Ekiti, Osun, and 2015, Nigerians, all of us must work together in partnership, but for us as umpire, not in partisanship, but in partnership to have a process. And that is why it's important to appreciate and for us to also begin to more engage you people on what we have done. All the planning that we are doing at the moment, all the state of the federation are all in the planning template. In this country, we should be able to build a system that will be proud of, a system in line with our vision of being one of the best election management body in the world, committed to the conduct of conducting free, fair, and credible election for sustainable democracy in Nigeria.
The Kwara State Government has set up a committee to look into claims of marginalization by the state branch of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the area of appointments, promotions, and illegal transfers. Members of CAN had earlier complained to the state government, forcing several meetings with the organization. The 7-member fact-finding committee inaugurated by the Deputy Governor, Peter Kizira, had been asked to look into the alleged favoritism in deployment of staff in the state civil service. The committee has as members the former head of service, HRS in the state, Alhaji Yusuf Kaudaibu as chairman, while Mrs. Modupe Oluwole will serve as secretary, along with 5 others.
The Abia State Government, in an effort to enhance the socio-economic potentials of the rural areas, has commissioned 2 multi-purpose shopping complexes to Ubakala Umahia South local government area. At the event, Governor Theodore Orji hinted that the projects would create job opportunities for the youth, as well as boost trade and commerce in the area. He added that the development is a sign that the local government system can work.
Pushing the economic frontiers of Abia State is key to development. Here, 2 shopping complexes with one comprising 95 shops and the other 55 are to be opened shortly. Built by the leadership of the Umahia South local government area, this effort is meant to complement the state government's effort. The state helmsman believes this is a testimony that government at the grassroots can work.
This evidence is here for all to see that the local government system can work. This also is going to provide employment for people. And when employment is provided, insecurity will go, crime will be reduced.
Not done yet, he also had a word for political leaders.
For those who are in leadership positions, let your concern be for people. Don't put yourself first.
Away from the commissioning, the wife of the governor was also honored for rendering assistance to these couple who were homeless. As 2014 begins in earnest, the state government has reiterated its commitment to sustainable development in Abia.
Well, still to come on News Track, and on the foreign scene, Sudan is set to step into the conflict besetting its southern neighbor.
And the Central Bank of Nigeria resumes dollar sales today.
Well, that will be on Business News. We'll be right back.
The highs and lows of the economy touch every part of our daily lives. Understanding its dynamics can be the difference between swimming with the tide or struggling against it. Analyzing government policies and how they shape the economy is what we do every workday. From the financial sector, maritime, the SMEs, telecom to aviation, we engage policymakers and operators in the economy. Watch Business Morning live Mondays to Fridays only on Channels Television.
Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria is expected to resume dollar sales today using its retail Dutch auction system. On Wednesday, December the 18th last year, the Apex Bank had announced the closure of the RDAs for the year to celebrate the Christmas and New Year holidays.
Meanwhile, at the interbank forex market, traders expect the naira to trade within the 158 to 159 naira band in the near term, as they expect more dollar sales from some energy companies this week. Last week, the local currency strengthened at the interbank on Friday, closing at 158 naira 85 to the dollar. Now we'll bring you some more figures at this time from the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, where our correspondent Temple Ashaju has been giving us updates all day. We'll get to Temple much later on. Let's move to some other stories now. Lending rates are likely to remain flat for most of this month at the interbank, as more treasury bills are expected to mature and additional funds from the monthly budget allocations to government agencies hit the market. On Friday, lending rates were flat at an average of 10.3%, same level as the previous week's close. Traders say matured 3-year debt worth 1.7 trillion naira from the Asset Management Company of Nigeria, AMCON, hit the system, boosting liquidity and holding down the rates. Crude oil prices began the week regaining momentum from its biggest weekly fall in 6 months. Brent crude for February delivery rose 13 cents to $107.02 after having settled lower in the previous 4 sessions, partly on expectations of rising Libyan exports. U.S. crude fell to $93.95 per barrel after posting its biggest weekly drop since June 2012 on Friday. Meanwhile, crude supply from Libya is expected to more than double from current levels after production at the El Sharara field resumed over the weekend as protesters ended a 2-month blockade. Well, gold climbed to its highest level in nearly 3 weeks today, despite a stronger dollar and bullish comments from the Federal Reserve on the U.S. economy. Spot gold rose 0.4% to $1,240 an ounce after hitting a near 3-week peak of $1,245 earlier. Analysts expect the metal to average $1,200 for the year, hitting $1,300 in the first quarter.
On the foreign scene, Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir is set to meet with President Salva Kiir for talks over the conflict in South Sudan. As the fighting continues in South Sudan, the warring parties are meeting in Ethiopia to try to agree a ceasefire, but so far no practical progress has been made.
The conflict pits supporters of Mr. Kiir against the rebels led by his sacked deputy, Riek Machar. At least 1,000 people have been killed since violence erupted on December the 15th. The arrest started after South Sudan's president accused Mr. Machar of attempting a coup, a charge which he denies.
Well, the year 2013 was very eventful on the international scene, and crises in Africa appear